A of exercise 5.3 reads as follows. Using technology sketch locating turning points, the graph of y equals x cubed plus 4x squared minus 44x minus 96. I'm going to use my graphics calculator for all of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new document. If you don't have this in the front, you're going to click on your home button and I'm going to add a new graph. I'm not going to say scratchpad over here. I'm going to click on my graph and I'm going to have a new equation. I'm going to start off by saying x to the power 3. I'm going to move with my arrow plus 4x plus 4x squared. And I went out again. Move there, say take away 44x, take away 96, enter. I can see I don't see all of my graph. It's a bit all over the show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say menu, I'm going to say window zoom, and I'm going to say fit data. Now I can plus minus see what's happening. The graph tells us to locate the turning points. To locate turning points, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say menu, I'm going to say analyze graph, and I'm going to find my maximum minimums. Now, to find a minimum, this is going to be a local minimum, and I can choose any point to the left of that and press once and then move to any point to the right. So my turning point will be at 2.72 and y equals negative 166. To find a maximum, I'm going to do the same thing, menu, I'm going to say analyze graph, and now I'm going to find a maximum, a local maximum. In this area, that is a maximum, and the maximum, if you can't see properly, you can just grab onto it and move it. The maximum is minus 5.39 and 101. I also need to know what's my y and my x axis. To find that, I'm going to say my y-intercept, my x-intercepts. I'm going to say menu, analyze graph, and I'm going to say zeros. I've done that, my zeros, and I'm going to find a 0 between this point and that point. 0 is minus 8. I'm going to say menu, analyze graph, minimum maximum, 0 is between this point and this point. It's at minus 2, 0, and to find the 0 point, I'm going to say menu, analyze graph, 0 between this point and that point, and the answer is minus 6. Now the other value I need to find is where x equals 0, and that should be, if x is 0, my answer should be negative 96. The only way to find that is to say trace. So if I go to menu and I say trace graph, trace, and I say graph trace, and I just say 0, enter, it tells me that the point is negative 96 over here. I've drawn my graph. It says now also in the B part, it says show that the turning points are not placed symmetrical. If this was symmetrical, it needs to be, the turning point needs to be halfway between negative 8 and negative 2, which means negative 8 plus negative 2 is negative 10, divide by 2 is negative 5. We can see that the turning point is not at negative 5, it's at negative 5.39, so that's not symmetrical. I just want to move this and say escape. I can't, I'll just say escape, so I can see my turning point. This turning point over here, if this was symmetrical, it should be halfway between negative 2 and 6. So if I say negative 2 plus 6 is 4, divided by 2 is 2. So if it was symmetrical, it will be halfway between those 2 points, where x is 2, and it's not, that's 2.72. And that is why it's not symmetrical.